Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a new video. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Seb. I make animal rights and veganism related content almost every single week. Recently I've been doing less because I'm in Lebanon right now. But welcome to my channel. If you would like to stay up to date with everything that I'm doing, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button, and feel free to check me out on other social media platforms as well. In today's video I want to talk about the mayor of New York and a major switch that he brought into the hospitals of New York recently. I was reading about this a few days ago and I had quite mixed issues because it's not something that I think is happening for the first time, and we'll look into why. Basically, the mayor of New York, who happens to follow a plant prominent diet, when he was elected a few months ago, a lot of people were sharing that it's the first vegan mayor of New York, and it's very good, of course, and I was really excited as well. But it turns out he's not really vegan. And this is something we can get into later. But first of all, I want to talk about what he did. Basically, he brought a new program into 5 or 6 hospitals in New York where patients will have the availability to sign up to a plant-based diet and get all the nutritional support and everything that they need in order to go vegan for their health, or follow a plant-based diet, let's say. When I first read the headlines, I really thought he made 5 hospitals go vegan. And I thought that's so amazing because here in Lebanon, we have the world's first ever vegan hospital, the Hayek Hospital, which went vegan in March 2021, and it got global headlines, of course, because of the switch that they did. And they did it for ethical, environmental, sustainable, and pandemic related issues, and all 4 are very important for the hospital. This was something that was in the making with Lebanese vegans. There were a lot of workshops, documentary screenings such as Dominion, etc., etc. So obviously I was really excited to see that New York is following as well. I don't think they know about what we have here, but let's say that they're following this trend, or whatever you want to call it, of switching to plant-based food, but it's not really that. And that's why maybe I was a bit disappointed to realize that it's more of just a program that people can sign up to where they will get help. And of course that's great. And I think it's really important to have these programs in place, especially when it's brought in by someone as influential as a mayor, because that's one political power that you have, right? If you imagine several people around the world in different countries, in different cities, who have such a strong political power and what they can do and what they can bring into their communities, this is definitely something very important, and it does have a massive impact. Now, what happened afterwards is this debate or drama, let's say, that was going on about the fact that he's not really vegan. So a lot of questions were being asked, like, what do you eat? Is it true that you eat fish and this and that? And based on what I've read so far, it seems that he admitted that he does eat fish every now and then. So he's not vegan, he's not plant-based, he follows a plant prominent diet. I think that's the best term that we can use. He tries to be as plant-based as possible. Now, this is where I start getting a bit confused. Maybe it's not the perfect term, but also frustrated, because this is when I realize why a lot of people think of veganism as a diet instead of a philosophical stance, a moral and ethical stance that we take against animal exploitation and for giving other animals basic moral rights. So when someone who's so famous and who was celebrated for being a vegan says, oh yeah, I actually eat fish every now and then, it makes a lot of people who don't have enough education about veganism think of veganism as something they can do imperfectly, voluntarily. Now, I know no matter who you are, once you go vegan, you may make some mistakes, but mistakes are not the same as voluntarily contributing to animal slaughter. So I do wish that the mayor also thought of veganism as an ethical stance. I hope somehow he ends up falling on that moral and ethical issue and taking a firm stance and raise awareness about that as well, because that's so important. What's happening to animals is not something that we should just take our time on changing. You know, we should really try our best to do it, because it's really, really horrible. And most of us wouldn't even survive an hour if we were in these animals' places. So that's the news that I wanted to share. And I also wanted to ask you what you think about things like this. Do you think it was good? Do you think the overall is good, or do you think the overall is very damaged because of the fact that it diluted veganism into being like this diet thing that you can do on and off? Although I have to say, some of the interviews that I read where he was quoted, he did not really use the word vegan. He did use plant-based centered or things like that. So maybe it was not his intention. I don't even think he had bad intentions, but I really want to hear from you and know what you think about veganism and plant-based diets. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It was just a short video, but I wanted to share this with you. I hope you're doing well. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Check out my podcast if you want to listen to some really interesting conversations that I've put up there. Thank you again. If you'd like to support my work, check out my website sebalex.org. I'll see you in the next video.